Bleach chapter 631 titled Friend. It's me, Captain Virus Base. We live action. You already know what it is. Here to bring you this Bleach chapter review this week. This is what we need. This is exactly what I've been wanting. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Now we see off rip, the freaking chapter starts out with action. The continuation of Basby and Hashwall still duking it out. And I love the maneuver Hashwall pulled, and he gets ready to unsheath the spirit weapon, but we see Basby is going to fire his sacred bow. But right when he pulls the trigger, it cuts to the flashback. And I knew it was going to do this. I was hoping it was going to do this, but I knew it. To where it goes deeper into the backstory of Basby. And we see the one who was on his knees looking at the whole structure on fire. Yes, that was Basby. But we got to see how Basby and Hashwall actually met in this chapter. And Basby, this guy, he has this whole Dragon Quest, Dungeons and Dragons type of get up, have the special beads, the cape, the helmet, the whole nine. And we see he was out hunting for rabbits. Well, he was watching over Hashwall because Hashwall, this guy, he can't even summon the spirit weapon yet, so he was using the actual conventional bow and arrow. He missed the shot with the rabbit. We see Basby, he kills the rabbit, with his bow gun. And that's when they go to introduce themselves. But we see Basby, oh man. He wanted Drew Graham to introduce himself first, but Basby goes on to accidentally introduce, he says his name first, but while demanding Hashwall to introduce himself first. It was just crazy and silly, but we got to see how they had their bond, It seems like Basby, he ended up feeling sorry for Hashwall because Basby goes on to say he's a genius, he's a child prodigy. That's why he can just summon his spirit weapon at that young age. And Hashwall, he can't. That's why he was using a traditional bow and arrow. And he was saying, he was agreeing with Basby, like, yeah, you're right. I am useless. I do suck and everything. But at that point, Basby, he goes on to take it upon himself, like, you know what? You're going to train under me. Here, he throws him the little symbol with the B on it, from his shoulder that's holding up his cape. He said, you're going to follow me. I'm going to take you under my wing. I'm going to train you. Like, we're going to be the strongest Quincy's. We're going to be good Quincy's. We're going to be the best Quincy's. And it was revealed that, yes, Hashwall, he doesn't have any parents. It's just his uncle that he stays with. But one thing with this chapter you notice, of course he doesn't like the nickname Jugo. He told Basby, don't call him that. But we see there's something eerie about his uncle. After Basby goes to take off to where he stays in this big castle, apparently with his family, of course, we see that's when Hashwall's uncle goes to find him. You can see it all in Hashwall's face that it's just, I don't know what's going on with his uncle. I don't know if he's molesting him or he's abusing him, but you can tell he does not like his uncle. His uncle's like, hey, don't go too far into that forest. It's very dangerous. And I think Manga Panda says, my cute Drew Graham, or I think Manga Stream says adorable Drew Graham. But either way, Drew Graham, he just gets the willy squid just thinking about his uncle, man. You can just see it in his face expression. There is a reason he does not like his uncle. So, of course, it cuts back to Hashwall and Basby. They're grown, and we see him. He makes a big hole in the wall, and he goes on to tell Basby. Drew tells Basby, look, let's take this fight somewhere else. I don't want no more collateral damage. But Basby, he goes on a question, of course, the whole name changing the castle. Like, I thought it was called the Silver, and where did the Wonder Well come from? But I like the fact that when he said, let's take this somewhere else, this motivator activates Burner Finger 3. Because you see in the beginning of the chapter, he used Burner Finger 2. But I like the way he uses the hand gesture for Burner Finger 3. I believe he goes like this instead of just this. He goes like this. I know it looks like I'm throwing him gang signs, so that's how he does it. But the thing is with Basby, this Burner Finger, does he have to just go in order to activate? Like, I mean, if I was him, I remember when I first seen this Burner Finger thing, I was saying, like, he should be able to just, let's say, Burner Finger 5, Burner Finger 10, but it looks like, I don't know if he has to go in order. Burner Finger 1, Burner Finger 2, 3, because he can't activate 4 without activating 3, and not activating 3 without activating 2. You get what I'm saying? So, at that point, it cuts back to the flashback, where we see, yes, that last panel from last chapter, we see now we see Basby on his knees, the whole forest, the whole freaking mansion, the castle is just on fire. And he says, Juha did it. About half a year after he met Hashwolf, he claimed Juha did it. You see Juha, he was on a horse with the other Quincy's, and he was saying Juha was a monster going around in the Northern Territory, just dominating everything, dominating the country. And he said Juha goes on to say he's the first Quincy, and he's over 200 years old, but Basby didn't care about any of that. You know, he said, you know what? He told Hashwolf, we are going to kill Juha. Now, this is the thing I noticed. He said, we're going to kill Juha. And that's when Hashwolf said, so you want me to come too? And at that point, I was thinking to myself, okay, something is up, because Hashwolf said, you want me to come too? And that's when Basby's like, yeah, of course. Unless you just want to stay in that ash, you know, he burned down a forest, y'all stayed in. Unless you and your uncle want to live in that pile of ashes and knock yourself out. And Hashwolf said, well, my uncle died in that fire. And that's when Basby's like, okay, I see. So all the more reason for us to kill Juha. But see, this is my thing. When Hashwolf said, do you want me to go too? I'm thinking like, okay, whether this guy is really a coward or really he tried to set fire to the house or the forest area that he stayed with his uncle, and it just spread it and just burnt down the whole forest, including the castle. You know, that Basby stayed in. So really it was Hashwolf who did that, but he didn't mean for the castle that Basby stayed in to get burned down. So really Hashwolf has no real negative feelings towards Juha, because Hashwolf was the one who probably set fire. That's why he was like, oh, so you want me to come too? Because if I was Basby, you know, I'd have been like, look, so he killed your uncle, burned down, you know, he burned down the forest, and your uncle died in the fire, so the blood is on Juha's hands. Of course you should come too. But, you know, I guess if that's really the case, that this was Hashwolf doing and he's just being tight-lipped, that's why he's just going along with it. And that's when that's when Basby said, look, in order for us to get close to him, we need to gain his trust. You know, when we do that, that's going to be our chance to strike and kill Juha. And it was crazy. They said they trained day and night to get stronger, And I'm like, damn, these motivators are a pair of genes, man. Like, but even with this chapter, there were still more questions. But I do like how also went on to, I think he said 5 years have passed. And we see Juha, and he's talking to one of his subordinates. And you know what? I believe this is the guy. His name starts with a Z. I can't remember his name. This is the guy that Old Man Yama summoned. I think it is Zaku no Tachi South. I believe when he raised the dead, this was that same guy with the eye patch. Look at the eye patch and look at the hair. That is that guy. And we see Juha, I believe it was Royd or Lloyd. He was surprised. You know, he was the one that was shocked. Like, no, like, damn, like, this is you. Like, you know, I don't want to attack you. You all remember that chapter. So I'm guessing when this flashback leads up to the fight between Old Man Yama and Juha, I guess Old Man Yama activates his Bunkai while he's fighting Juha and he burns, you know, that subordinate of Juha's, and maybe that's how he ended up dying. I'm just guessing. But he goes on to say, look, we need to create a new vanguard. And the subordinate questions the vanguard. He says, look, we don't need a vanguard. I believe he said we already conquered, I believe, the Northern Territory or most of the country in the Kingdom of Light. I believe the Kingdom of Light is the country or the area, or I don't know if he was referring to the world of the living as the Kingdom of Light, whatever, but, you know, it's pretty tripped out. You know, like, they refer to it as the Kingdom of Light, but, you know, they're all about the shadows and living in the darkness. But I don't think, not just yet, because we see this is the time where they have to live in the shadows. That's not going to happen until the whole invasion of Soul Society. Now, I do like the fact how it all is coming together. He said, no, we're going to invade Soul Society, and for that reason, we need a new power, a new vanguard. And we should call this the Star Raider, or as I like to call it, which sounds better than me, I'm sorry, the Star Knights. And it says to be continued. I am telling you, phenomenal chapter. I mean, good pacing, nice art, of course, nice backstory. We're getting some questions answered, yet more questions that are coming up. But see, the thing about flashbacks, which I like, it prolongs the series, and also the fact that it gives a better understanding to the character development. You get to see and understand why this character is this way. And when you like the character, you enjoy the flashback even more. And you never know, it may even change your outlook and perspective on a certain character. Because to be honest, when Basby first showed up, I really didn't care about him. I mean, yeah, he believed Kira. I believe he killed Kira, I'm sorry. Or was it Hashwall? Now, I know Hashwall sliced that one Soul Reaper straight up the middle. I believe it was refresh my memory, Leeds. I believe it was Basby who took out Kira. It was just crazy. I'll still say Kira is dead. Why? I was expecting a more cinematic type of death. You know how it does in Bleach and other animes where they die, they're falling back slowly or falling back forward. And it's just slow motion, shows panel by panel, a quick flashback. Even he just says something, well, I guess he couldn't speak. Something like, it was an honor being a Shinigami. Or, you know, Captain Game, I'm sorry I never had a chance to, you know, any of it was none of that. This motivator just, big ass hole right here, whole side, ribs, all this gone, and he's done. But, whatever. Nah, this makes us all wonder and believe, when or why did Basby and Hashwall have a change of heart? Because clearly they had chance after chance after chance to kill this guy. I know they had, or especially Hashwall. Come on, now he swapped the abilities when Juha is asleep. But you know what, like I said, as far as Hashwall goes, maybe Juha did not cause that fire. Maybe it was Hashwall. And Hashwall never had ill feelings towards Juha. Maybe he persuaded Basby to change his mind, because clearly Basby, he was down for the cause. He was down for the Star Knights, the Stern Ridders, the Quincy's, just everything. He was down for the cause, you know. But at some point, clearly Basby, he had to change his heart. Why? Because he was actually surprised when Juha did the holy selection. And Basby was looking up thinking like, why are you, forsaking us? Why are you, betray us? Why? I mean, he was shocked. If he believed that Juha burned down the castle, killed his family or whatnot, he shouldn't have been surprised. Not at all. But now I have a different outlook on Basby, because like I said, when Basby first showed up, I didn't care, the mohawk and everything. I know that's part of the appearance, but his personality, everything. I mean, he doesn't have a bad personality. He just didn't grasp me. Yeah, people say he's the Grimjaw of the Star Knights, but Basby he just didn't do it for me. But he slowly started to grow. His ability is cool. He claims his fire and lava and whatnot is hotter than Old Man Yama's, so he says. But I just can't wait to the point. Okay, we see this is 5 years later. Okay, but wait a minute. Let's talk about how old these motivators are. This was 1,000 years ago, because the invasion. Let's see, 1,000 years. So Hashwall and Basby. Okay, all right. They were born Quincy's. They have the default signature Quincy abilities. But I'm pretty sure when he found Juha, or when they went to Juha, or Juha came to them. When they went to sign up, or Juha went to go to recruit them, they went to drink the blood so he can bestow the letter upon them to give them the signature abilities. I'm thinking when he drank the blood, that's why they became immortal like that. So I would not necessarily say immortal, but it slowed down the aging process. So they have a lot of battle experience and training and whatnot. But I mean, damn. So now it's leading up to the invasion. To be honest, the current story as it stands, they could put that on hold. Please, Kubo, continue to do this flashback. Please continue to you know what? Hashwall is my boy. I'm glad to see this backstory is a part of him, but they can even pause. Kubo can even pause the fight that's going on with him and Basby. Please stick to this backstory. These are the things I've been wanting to see and know for the longest. Especially, you can see this is going to lead up to the fight between Old Man Yama and Juha, and we are going to see why Old Man Yama did not or could not kill Juha. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, I believe there's a reason why They had a change of heart while they couldn't do it. Something happened, and hopefully we get to see all the Star Knights, their recruiting process, their backstory. Some of them we've seen, you know, I believe next chapter we will get to see the process between Hashwall and Basby. Even with the Espada, I still want to see all their own recruitment process. I mean, I guess it was probably all the same. Isaac come up to him, hey, look, hey, I get it, yeah. You see me in this old tire, you see this Zanpato, yeah, it's a Soul Reaper, I'm your sworn enemy, but listen, join me, I can give you more power, etc., etc. It probably goes like that. But at this rate, it's just getting better and better. You know, last week's chapter was good. This week's chapter is good. And like I said, this is what we needed, because the past couple chapters, you know, the week before last, going on down, I don't know. But now it feel like these are the things that all fans of a series really love. Now, I'm not saying everyone likes a backstory, because it all depends on the character. Some people don't care about a character so much, they don't even care about the backstory. Like a Charlotte Coolhorn backstory. No, hell no. I don't want to give a tinker's damn about that. But in this case, the Quincy's, Hashwall, Basby, Juha, this whole thing, I love this. So overall, to me at least, this was a very good chapter in my books. No complaints. Good pacing, nice backstory, good art, a couple of questions answered, more questions are now coming up about. The momentum is building up. This is leading into more questions being answered. Phenomenal chapter to me. It's me, Captain Vibes Bays. I will see you all next week for my Bleach chapter 632. Thank you all for watching. Signing out.